Iron County trains for an active school shooter situation, and Natural Resources Commission to consider higher brook trout possession limits.
Later, Ross Ray will have the latest forecast, and Grant will be back with your sports. Hi, I'm Erica Flint.
And I'm Grant Lukens, and this is Public Eye News. Multiple law enforcement agencies gathered in Iron River on Monday for an active shooter training day. Officers responded to the fake shooting and assisted victims until the EMS could arrive. The agencies do this type of training on their own, but Monday marked the first time all the departments trained together. The fake victims were rushed to the Iron River Hospital, where they also had a mass casualty training day. The old Flying Moose is under new management and has officially reopened under a new name, The Preserve. The Preserve will focus on deli foods, wine, and beer, and will stay open until 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. The new owners say more changes will come in the future.
The brook trout possession limit is under consideration for increase in some Upper Peninsula streams in Michigan, according to the Natural Resources Commission. This would increase the number of streams under the 10-fish possession limit to 40. The meeting will be held on Thursday, October 11th by the Natural Resources Commission at the MSU Veterinarian Diagnostic Laboratory in Lansing. For more information, check out michigan.gov/NRC. And in other news, an $800,000 grant from the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative was given to the Superior Watershed Partnership to protect coastal properties. The first property is located west of Marquette and includes 1,000 feet of coastline property at Eagle's Nest. The second property includes 2,000 feet section of Alger County coastline. 50% of Michigan's Upper Peninsula coastal land and is not protected under pressure from developers. Superior Watershed Partnership Executive Director Carl Lindquist said, quote, "Our emphasis is on riparian and coastal areas to protect water quality and important habitats," end quote.
Range Bank has donated $40,000 to help repair the flooding that occurred in Copper Country. Range Bank showed their support by creating the Copper Country Relief Fund for members of the community to donate to the flood relief effort. The community raised $25,000 and the bank donated $15,000, making the total donated $40,000. The Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, or LARA, has issued a new emergency administration rule to continue implementing the Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act, or MMFLA. These rules will ensure continued access for people who require medical marijuana, keep the quality of the strain, and require all growers to be licensed by the state and federal government by October 31st. Growers not licensed by November 1st will be fined and have their eligibility impacted. These new rules supersede the Rule 19 and the September 11th emergency rules, and these new rules also allow for an audit and inspection at any time by local inspectors. And break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Next time on The Great American Read.
Moby Dick is a warning for all of us against obsession.
I grew up with Harry Potter.
It just sucked me in. This world took over my entire life.
The Handmaid's Tale is an essential novel for our times.
The Handmaid's Tale, Moby Dick, and the Harry Potter series are just a few of the books we'll explore when we confront villains and monsters on The Great American Read.
Tonight at 8 and tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Is that me or you? Starting next month, Amazon's U.S. workers' minimum wage will be increased to $15 per hour. In September, Amazon's value briefly went up to $1 trillion. This decision was in response to economic and political pressure for a raise from thousands of Amazon employees. The current federally mandated minimum wage is at $7.25. And Amazon is taking the lead to advocate for a future increase in pay. People are spending more time on electronic devices and less time with their furry friends. This imbalance of time management is putting man's best friend in doggy depression.
It's a constant battle between paying attention to man's best friend or checking out that latest YouTube video on man's favorite device.
I get the poke and the, hey, what are you doing? Or I get the toy put in my lap and whatnot. So
Pay attention to me.
yeah, exactly.
A new study shows dogs may become more anxious and possibly even suffer from doggy depression due to our overuse of smartphones.
A lot of times in the dog park, people just don't pay attention in general.
The new norm seems to be paying attention to our screens and forgetting about Fido.
He very much is like, hey, I'm here, or he tries to act out.
He sees me on my phone all the time. And he looks at me like, come on, I see you on your phone.
The UK-based study focused on how welcoming a pet, specifically a dog, could help people suffering from mental health issues. And though cats did not seem to be affected,
They just seem aloof to me anyway. I hope I'm not offending cat people, but
it's all good, we're in a dog park. Researchers also learned dogs may suffer from depression if their human handlers ignored them.
It's just like having a kid. You know, you need to have your eyes on them at all time.
Queen Village veterinarian Dr. Alexander Koyata says he sees the effects of smartphone usage.
We need to all get off our phones.
Especially since pups are very good at reading our subtle cues.
Dogs do read body language. They read our eye contact, our facial expressions. So if we are on our phone and acting disinterested and they're looking for attention, it is kind of basically ignoring your dog.
And the last thing you want is a bothered furry friend.
I put my phone away. Yeah, he'll bark too if he's not getting enough attention.
DaVita Medical Holding has agreed to pay $270 million to resolve allegations that it was providing inaccurate information to Medicare. DaVita admitted it inflated its numbers in order to receive more money, as reported by the U.S. Justice Department. Healthcare Partners, a subsidiary of DaVita, sent out improper guidance for a spinal condition that would net them increased reimbursement. Officials also say that Healthcare Partners ignored incorrect diagnoses that would have reduced their medical funding. The president today hailed a new trade deal worked out with Canada and Mexico. He campaigned on getting rid of the North American Free Trade Agreement, saying it cost the U.S. jobs, so now NAFTA is the USMCA. Weijia Jiang is traveling with the president in Tennessee.
It's a brand new deal. It's not NAFTA redone.
President Trump took a victory lap in the White House Rose Garden, celebrating a trade deal to replace NAFTA, called the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement. The president had been at odds with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau until the deal was finalized last night.
A lot of stories came out about Justin and I having difficulty together than we did over the trade deal. But I'll tell you, it's turned out to be a very, very good deal for both.
Canada has agreed to lift restrictions on its dairy market so U.S. farmers can export products more easily. But the biggest impact is on the automobile industry. In order to avoid tariffs, the deal requires 75% of a car's component parts to be manufactured in North America, up from NAFTA's 62.5%. It also requires that at least 30% of the work on a car be completed by employees earning $16 an hour or more.
Workers in the U.S. and Canada generally make more than $16 an hour when they're working on a car. Those in Mexico, much less. And that has encouraged a lot of manufacturers to move those jobs to Mexico. This new iteration is meant to bring those jobs back.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says that could create new costs.
Consumers could pay more for a car.
But first, Congress has to sign off.
Anything you submit to Congress is trouble, no matter what.
President Trump will likely turn this new trade deal into a big talking point as he hits the campaign trail ahead of the midterm elections starting right here at this rally in Tennessee. He expects to sign the deal in November. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Johnson City, Tennessee.
blink too much.
An icon of American engineering. One of the longest single-span covered bridges in the world. Destroyed in a hurricane. Now, an elite team of artisans and engineers races to rebuild it before rising waters wash it away again. Operation Bridge Rescue on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 after Nature on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. My name is Ross Ray, and I'm here today with your weather. Let's take a look at our wonderful academic mall. And as you can see, it is bright and sunny today, and hopefully that'll continue throughout our week. Looking at our current conditions, it is currently clear with a temperature of 52 degrees, winds southeast at 5 miles an hour, and our barometric pressure at 30.12 and steady. Looking at tonight, we're having showers, a low of 48 degrees, and our winds south at 5 miles an hour. And looking at tomorrow, we're going to have some more showers with a high of 67 and winds at south at 15 miles an hour. Looking across the UP today, we're going to start over here with Sault Ste. Marie. We're going to rock with 57 and clear. Coming down here to Manistee, it is going to be 53 and cloudy. Over in Escanaba, it's going to be also 53 and cloudy. Coming down to Menominee, it's going to be 55 and cloudy. Going to our other half of the UP here, over here in Iron Mountain, it's going to be 55 and cloudy, up to Ironwood at 52 and cloudy, going all the way up to Hone at 53 and cloudy, and coming back to our wonderful Marquette at 52 and clear. Let's look at our week ahead. On Thursday, it's going to be a high of 54, low of 37 and clear. On Friday, it's going to be a high of 46, low of 43 with showers. And on Saturday, it's going to be a high of 54, low of 41 with some more showers. Well, granted, it's looking like this weekend's going to be covered with rain, but hopefully our football fans will stay dry in the nice Superior Dome.
That's right, Ross. The Northwood Timberwolves are set to take on our very own Northern Michigan Wildcats in the Superior Dome on Saturday at 1 p.m. Northwood is coming into the game with a record of 0-5, and the Wildcats are coming into the game with a 1-4. Tickets are still available at the door, so be sure to come and support the Wildcats for a good game of football. NMU's own men's soccer goalkeeper, Valentin Klebe, was named GLIAC's Defensive Player of the Week. Valentin completed in 200 minutes for the Wildcats. He stopped 4 shots in the game against Ashland, and on Saturday against Saginaw Valley, where Valentin and the NMU defense blocked 27 shots attempts. Valentin is the second male soccer player to earn a GLIAC Player of the Week award, right after Callum Open won on September 17th. A draw extends the Wildcats' unbeaten streak to 8. The game against Saginaw Valley State marks the 5th straight shoutout for the men's soccer team and their 8th undefeated game. The Wildcats finished last month with a 6-0-2, managing a victory or a draw in all 8 games. Valentin Klebe prevented Saginaw Valley from scoring any goals, blocking the 27 attempted shots.
That's pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, all these players of the week. I mean, NMU's doing pretty good on the front of sports. And that's all the time we have today. You guys have a good night and tune in tomorrow.
Michigan University Public Television. The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.